and trade.
Oh, great. And also, a bit of an explanation. The working committee, was it set up for this issue, or is a standing committee at the National Road Safety Authority?
Oh, for this particular issue.
For this particular issue. Okay. Now, explain to us what you were supposed to do.
So, thank you very much. I think, first of all, I want to say good morning to the patriots of this republic, and then say that because of the perplexing nature of the racial problem that affects us, the need for the National Road Safety Authority having received a lot of complaints and petitions from the meetings about the involvement of this particular vehicle in preventable road crashes. On the need to get drilled down to find out whether this is the case. And so from day one, the object was to subject a Toyota Voxy model to this consent. And the reason why the report focused on that, though in the course of our findings, we found out that there are also other vehicles that have similar issue problems that require further study if the authority so wishes. Having said that, it's basically to find out why the crashes involving the Voxy and what it is that all of us can do to ensure that we protect ourselves against issues among others.
I see. That's interesting. Please, are you on the move?
I'm on a vehicle.
Okay.
But
Okay.
you can go ahead.
Okay.
I'm not driving.
Okay. That's okay. Okay. Then you say you're supposed to look. Let me ask you, what did you find when you investigated the matter?
Oh, I think first of all, the report yesterday was read profusely, and findings were also read up. And what should be concerned to all of us, first and foremost, is that among the major policies that guide us in order to achieve our road safety set objectives, in regard to putting in proactive and reactive measures to reduce crashes and make associated serious injuries and kills by 50%, 2020 to 2030 within the FCT. The state is expected to put in measures to ensure that all of us use safer vehicles. And in this light, the findings show clearly that yes, Voxy is a vehicle manufactured by a known vehicle manufacturer in this country, in the Orient, far away, Japan, purposely for the use by Japanese. In that jurisdiction where the vehicle is solely constructed for right-hand driving. And as a hand-right driving in this safety, it means that the vehicle, the steering, as it were, is on the right. And therefore, it's not meant for this jurisdiction. and the engineer who manufactured the vehicle informed the world that we have never manufactured a left-hand one since they started producing such vehicles. And again, the vehicle was not designed for rugged use, but for family use, for private purpose, and not designed and manufactured and constructed for commercial use. And therefore, even if it's intended to use it, it's only in intercity for private use and not meant for rugged commercial long distance use among others. And that was very instructive to us because vehicles are manufactured by vehicle manufacturers based on certain homologation and use in terms of even chassis, in terms of even clearance, in terms of having suspension among others, and tires and all that. And all these things proves that the vehicle we are discussing is designed only for the Japanese market and it's meant to be used in truck. And it also came out clear that all such vehicles where we are using it in Ghana, where the law is, where our policy is clear, that since 1974, we use our left hand to control steering, and we use our right hand to drive the vehicle by using it to change gears and all that. This vehicle was not designed for that. Therefore, bringing it in the first place was wrong, until illegal. There was negligence, even at the first. And two, using it for the purpose of which it's being used for is dangerous. No wonder such vehicles, still many of them being involved in vehicles that crashes that could have been avoided if they were designed to be used for the purpose of which is being illegally put to. And so these, among others, are the things that we found. And it clearly points to us that as a country, the state has a responsibility to protect in terms of safer vehicle importation and safer ownership, registration, licensing, and use. Vehicles, when not properly constructed and put to the proper use and contribute to preventable road crashes, slow warning, and reflecting. And this comes clearly that as a country, we need to get back to the basics. So how did we get it wrong to allow such a vehicle to be used for that purpose without first preventing its registration, its importation, and its conversion and its use currently?
So there's an admission of dereliction of duty on the part of duty bearers, those who are supposed to ensure that this did not come into the country in the first place and is not converted.
I think clearly the report pointed out, and it's part of it, and it's just that at this present time, we need to go back to the basics and start getting it right, because it is early days here, and we suggested that even there should be standardization as to certain clearance before vehicles are allowed to be shipped from the point of export, and that the law that requires that or mandate or enjoys the revenue officer at the upper port not to allow right time hearing should ensure that it is complied with, and so that systematically we can easily enforce the law even at the port before these are allowed into the country by the importers and the manufacturers of such vehicles that are prohibited because of the steering position.
And already it looks like there are large numbers of them in town. Some of the drivers we speak to now say it is the biggest investment when it comes to vehicle owners, is what many of them are buying. There are many of them currently at garages being converted, among others. What happens to those vehicles?
I think for the 7,000 thereabouts that we noticed that have entered the jurisdiction, I think the authority, we expect the authority to come out with other measures. However, I think there are no engagements that this report communicates clearly to all Ghanaians, including myself, that if we intend to import the vehicle for the current use for commercial, it is first of all, it is illegal and it is dangerous and it cannot be used for that purpose. And therefore, such investment must be used. If you want to use it for a private purpose, it's no problem. But for the commercial purpose, it's dangerous. It cannot be guaranteed. That is what now the state is.
I see.
If you are a potential traveler and then you go to any politician, the state has come out with this report. I think that you have to be advised because there are myriad or many types of vehicles at our public transport terminal. And even the Toyota that manufactures the vehicle exposed to us that there are certain vehicles that have been designed to be used for commercial, which Ghana have also made investment in civilians and what you call coastal vehicles, and then the Toyota Hiace model, which is being put on display on stand to carry you across the country. Other than Voxy, so far as the manufacturer is concerned, it is not designed for the purpose of which you want to go on board for the driver to move you. Again, the modification was illegal, was not supervised and by the manufacturer, and therefore nobody can vouch your safety. So first, importers refrain based on this report. And those who want to buy for the purpose of commercial and all that, please refrain, so that you see to the few 7,000 that investment of made. There are other uses of put to. We said that it can be used intra, so it's not a wasted investment. And intra, the last time I was in Nairobi, it is intra. They are using it for ride hailing. And so if you are Ghanaian, under the section 11, under the Road Traffic Amendment Act 1163 of 2025, ride-hailing vehicles are also commercial to be used intra. Therefore, you can put it to good use. The law allows that intra, so that you are using within a greater attack, greater commercial to support public transport services. It's good. But to say that you only embark on intercity, we require the regulator, the Road Safety Authority, to come up with strategies. But so far as we are concerned, as police, we are going to intensify our sensitization. And I'm thankful for this opportunity to reach out to many importers, to reach out to many auto dealers, to reach out to many those who want to own vehicles. Yes, they have the right, economic right to own, but to put it to use, there are state policies which relate to, first of all, its importation, its registration, and its use. And that is what we are talking about, all with the aim of protecting the life and property of special Ghanaians who are alternative safer vehicles other than what to embark on intercity journeys.
The drivers we spoke to tell us clearly that there's no problem with the vehicle. The problem usually is with those who are driving the vehicle, the recklessness of some of the drivers, and then they are also talking about the quality of our roads. How do you respond to that?
I think we shouldn't mix. The Professor Akosa has ever told us that the devil lies in the details. And I have estimated safer vehicles to promote safer road use. We can have another time to discuss safer road that can also promote safer road use. And in that sector, I think government is pushing a lot of investment into the pitch to ensure that most of our roads are dualized and all that. And therefore, we all understand that Ghana is a road construction. Now, the issue we are dealing with is vehicle and its use, ownership and its use. Vis-a-vis what the manufacturer, who manufactured the vehicle, says. It's not about you, the user. The manufacturer thinks that the vehicle was not constructed for the purpose of which you have converted and putting it to use. And they are giving you reasons. And the reasons are basically 50 among others. So we cannot go beyond and put it that use and then start blaming the challenges that comes with it on other variables. I don't think we need to do that. Otherwise, we cannot make progress. Please, drivers, please, vehicle owners, please, importers. The Ghana have invested in 50, institutions, among others, to ensure that on your behalf we serve you. And one of the services have led to this search and finding. We should put it to good use to enhance our safety. Is that there are a lot of vehicles that are available that we can make an investment in. Why is it that the vehicle owner, the manufacturer, thinks that this is not designed in terms of clearance, in terms of all the standards that is required for either to use the vehicle for private or commercial, and says that this particular vehicle, it is not even designed for your production. It is not even meant to be converted. And then you go your own way and do it. And in the end, the problems that are coming in terms of preventable crashes and all that, and associated deaths and injuries, you want to blame it on the road. First of all, let's deal with why it's not meant to be used for commercial and why this is happening. Is that the vehicle, in terms of its physical construction, the chassis, crans, axles, tires, among others, cannot withstand the pressure, the dynamic pressure in which this vehicle is put to use. And therefore, we have to get back to the basics and ensure that the right application of the law is done to ensure that we protect the Ghanaians who have worked so hard and just want to communicate by putting in a paper vehicle to move from maybe a city to another city. In safety, there are alternatives. So we shouldn't go for the one that the manufacturer says we cannot use for that purpose, of which we have put it to use, and it is heading, has been heading up. We think that this has come at the right time. Let us get the basics and put in the right measures as usually the OTP is showing the lead, so that we all follow and ensure that our investments are directed to importation of safer vehicles for commercial purpose intercity, and then we buy things and then we put it to the public use, so that in the end it wouldn't be the case that they will be killing thieves at the long stations and all that. But we will ride from point of departure and engage in safer in-traffic practices and then move on. With regard to others, as I said, other investment and other strategies are being put in place to ensure that things that are also impede safer use of our route in terms of, for example, broken down vehicles with the single carriage roads and all that becomes thing of the past. That one you can discuss. But today, it is a safer vehicle, and the finding has shown that Voxy, though you can use it for private purpose, for family use, and actually in intracity, it cannot be used for intercity commercial purposes. That is the issue. So don't let us run to the routes and other things, please.
And let me conclude by asking you what changes, because what we heard from the Road Safety Authority is that they can be used for intracity commercial movements, but not for intercity.
I think that is good advice because, like I said, the best practice, right? Now I'm saying that it can come at the right time because right hailing it goes with interest. And any vehicle that you use, for example, if you break it down, those who are using their vehicle for online digital service, Uber platform and tools and all, Taxify and all that, all these are commercial, and therefore you can put it to that use. It might not even carry the number plate yellow and black. It can be white. As far as you come on that commercial space right away, your radio compliance will change, and then you can deliver your commercial services. In that, I mentioned intracity, for example, Greater Accra, the Greater Accra, the Greater Kumasi, they can operate within those areas, those from the Pereira to the Spienza, and then those the Kodovija settlements around. And this is done, and job has also been created in the new law, as mentioned. And therefore, if you have made investment in it hasn't gone wasted because you can put it to another commercial use without necessarily using it to the aim of delivering long distance commercial services. That will expose your investment and will also expose us to very damning public health and safety issues.
I see. Thank you. Thank you very much for speaking to us.
Thank you, God bless.
ACP Alex Obeng is a member of the Technical Working Committee that looked into this matter on behalf of National Road Safety Authority. They've submitted their report to the authority. The authority has taken on board their recommendations. One of them is that they can no longer use the Voxy vehicles for long distance commercial travel. It can only be used for intracity. So within Accra, you can use it. Within Kumasi, you can use it, but you cannot use it for long distance travel. And he says it is not a matter of the roads or the driving. It's the fact that it was not manufactured for that purpose. That's why they are putting in that limitation. It was not manufactured to be used for long distance travel. It was not, and the most important one, not manufactured for Ghanaian roads. It was manufactured for Japanese roads. That's why they've decided to raise those issues. Kofi Ayara is joining us. Says, good morning, Senna. The government should procure buses that have technology which gives warnings to you when you are too close to another in front of you, and even stops the engine when you ignore the warning talk, and those vehicles with dashboards showing the road ahead and behind. Shukra Asani Akime says, discipline. A driver in Africa, the government ending DVLA have to come together to issue a point on license. The license we have 10 points or 12 points. So the moment you lose your point, you lose your license for maybe 5 years. This can help in Africa. Over here in abroad, we don't joke with our lines. This is what is putting us on track. Kwekwabra says the decision rests with the passengers. If you value your life, you don't join the fragile vehicles for long journeys. Good morning to Patrick Mgetayram Dolafia. There's Samo Afo Kwame who says there's nothing wrong with the car. The drivers should be responsible. The police should stop taking money to and rather check the drivers to do the right thing. And I hope you heard ACP correctly. He says we are not dealing with the matters of road or the driving. We are dealing with the fact, the vehicle itself, the vehicle that was manufactured. Is that vehicle suitable for that purpose? That's the only reason the main reason they've made a recommendation, and the National Road Safety Authority is implementing it. Ima Nuji is also joining us, saying a good morning to us. Voxy is a dangerous car. That's Ima who is joining us. Neil Ate is also joining us. Emmanuel Enim is talking about Ford Expedition. That was the one I was talking about transit, actually. Michael Pakuakwe is joining us. There's Philip Abuchi, who says the fact that, okay, so we'll get there. Philip is talking about the fact that Mr. Oforiatta, former finance minister, is currently residing outside the country, holds no significance. He ought to return to Ghana, face legal proceedings. Should Mr. Oforiatta decline to return, the MPP may face prolonged opposition. It is imperative we conduct ourselves with seriousness and responsibility as a nation. Philip Abuchi sent that from Keta. Okay, so these are some of the comments that you're sending to us on this issue. We'll be turning to another issue shortly. And